What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Leon from Leon Talks TV, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're delving into a question that many of you might have wondered about. Can you really find a good woman in a nightclub? We're talking about what the research says, the chances of meeting someone special, and whether nightclubs are the best place to start a serious relationship. So let's get into it. Chapter 1, Meeting Women in Nightclubs. First off, let's talk about the reality of meeting women in nightclubs. Many men do meet women at these venues, and some of these encounters can lead to serious relationships. Surveys show that about 40 to 55% of men have had a serious relationship with someone they met in a nightclub or a bar. That's a pretty good number, right? One would assume. However, while nightclubs can be fun and exciting with lots of single people around, they often don't lead to the deepest or most meaningful connection. The atmosphere can be loud and chaotic, which makes it hard to have a genuine conversation at times. Chapter 2, the quality of relationships. So, what about the quality of those relationships formed in nightclubs? Research shows that while many people do start dating after meeting in clubs or bars, the long-term success of those relationships is often lower compared to others formed through different means, like online dating or shared hobbies, like maybe going to the gym or meeting a partner in the gym. So, a survey found that over half of the people had dated someone they met in a pub or a club, and about 36% of those serious relationships led to marriage. But studies from the University of Chicago found that marriages from these encounters often have lower satisfaction rates compared to those formed elsewhere. Chapter 3, Why Nightclubs Can Be Challenging. Let's talk about why nightclubs can be tough places for finding meaningful connection. Most people go to nightclubs to have fun with friends and let loose, and while some might be open to meeting someone new, many aren't really looking for a serious relationship. The environment makes it hard to connect on a deeper level, as loud music, drinks, and a party vibe create a challenging atmosphere for meaningful connections. When men approach women in nightclubs, many women assume that guys are only interested in casual hookups or physical attraction rather than something serious. You see, these perception is influenced by the party scene where alcohol and suggestive behavior are common. Women often expect to be approached by men looking for validation, free drinks, or one-night stands, which can make them cautious about a guy's true intentions. Plus, some may have had negative experiences that left them feeling objectified or pressured, leading to a general wariness when approached. And then you got to think about the stereotypes and social pressure. There's a perception that men in nightclubs may be creeps or are there to score, especially if they approach aggressively or without clear signals of interest from the woman. Women may also feel that the presence is being used to attract male clientele or to fulfill certain expectations set by the venue. So when you put all of this into consideration, even when men do go out and end up being successful with getting a woman's number or Instagram, this is what leads to one of the major factors in why women may flake or ghost men when men receive a woman's number from a nightclub, which can be very frustrating for a lot of men. Chapter 4, Scenarios when meeting good women in nightclubs. Now, me personally, I feel like you can meet good women in nightclubs, and I'll tell you why. However, don't get me wrong, it's definitely hard, and it's a lot harder than other alternatives. And it really depends on your luck on that night. For some, you may have to go to nightclubs every other weekend consistently to actually find that one good girl. The reason I say you can find a good girl or someone compatible is that sometimes a woman might go out for a birthday event or a party for one of her friends. Overall, just some sort of special event. She might be out that night knowing it's not really her scene, but she's there to celebrate her friend's event or that special event, like I said before. And they will come out for special events, or they might go for a dinner date during the day and then end up at a nightclub afterwards with their friends. You see, these are certain scenarios where you may find a good girl. Another thing to consider is that some girls enjoy going out with their friends, but there are also girls who don't actually drink, who are actually quite reserved. Ooh. Personally, I've seen girls in the club who move very classy. They don't really care about being in the VIP section with those type of guys who are always in the VIP section popping the bottles and wants to be a part of that lifestyle. So, and most likely they don't care because they don't drink. You do come across those types, but it's very rare to see them. And many men might overlook them because they are not on the dance floor, twerking, being loud, or dressed provocatively. Most men are often too drunk to even notice them. I'll give you a scenario. I met a girl one time in the club and she was just standing there while her friends were partying and having fun, doing what girls do in the clubs. I noticed she was quietly smiling and minding her own business. I walked up to her and asked her, "How come you're not drinking?" She smiled and simply said, "Oh, I don't drink like that." So she was just chilling. And then we started talking. I could see that she was a very laid back person and wasn't really into the hype, which after it led to some sort of relationship between me and the girl. And she was a decent person, had nothing to complain about. But in conclusion, while it's definitely possible to meet women in nightclubs and even start relationship, the odds of forming a deep and lasting connections are generally lower compared to other settings. If you're looking for a serious relationship, it might be worth exploring different environments where you can connect with people on a more meaningful level. I'll say this, if nightclubs are your thing and that's the only place where you can really meet women because you're too busy with other aspects of your life, then by all means do what you have to do. If you can afford it, then great. However, if you're just scraping by, I suggest finding ways to lower your costs when going out. Instead of going to a club that's an hour away from home, try to find a local nightclub nearby. This way you won't have to spend a crazy amount of Uber rides. Also, try not to drink too much when you're out at the clubs, as that can really add up. Consider having a pre-drink before you go out. The main expenses when going out are usually drinks and transportation. For example, I recently went to a club within walking distance from my house, which was great. However, in the past, I've spent almost 40, 50 just to go to one club and then another 50 to come back. I'm not sure how much this is in dollars, but I'll probably say it's around 40, maybe 35. When you think about it, that's a bit crazy, spending that much money just to be out for 2 or 3 hours. Nowadays, if I do go out, I'm only going local. I'm not traveling to clubs across the city anymore. Additionally, you could also try quieter bars or social events where you can actually talk and get to know someone better without the overwhelming noise of a nightclub. Anyways, that being said, thanks for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you had any experiences meeting someone in a nightclub? I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on dating and relationships. See you next time.